start a song, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back row. All I really take is a little taste. Island girl, blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe and get away. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, I got the semi-fold weight. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the time, got time for no day. Whoa, too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that. Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good times, live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessed with nation, not a world
Two cutters through the middle. Artie up for three.
Namaste everybody, and for the last time, welcome to the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship 2024, coming to you live from the National Hockey Centre and hosted by the North Harbour Indian Sports Club. Formerly QBT and KBT, the rebranded New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship is the pinnacle of competition for the New Zealand Indian hockey community and the place where many battles, rivalries and victories have taken place for over 60 years. We're here on the final day of tournament where 3 champions will be crowned. We've already done 2. The last one here is the men's A section, who are fighting for one of the most prestigious trophies in all of New Zealand sport, the Diane Chand, which is currently held by Pukekohe, who find themselves back here again. I'm Brad Pittman and have been here through all of the action of this year's New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship, brought to you by Local Gecko Productions and proudly supported by One Foundation. I'm joined in commentary again, and for the last time, by Hitendra Patel, NZISA lead coach and NZI legend. Hitu, back for the last one.
Yeah, can't wait for this one, Brad. Thanks for the welcome again. And Pukekohe, Wellington, always a great match no matter what National Indians hockey tournament you're playing.
That's it. You see the two teams come out here. As you mentioned, it's the last game of the day, last game of the tournament, where we see the top 2 men's A sides battle it out for the 2024 championship. It's defending champions Pukekohe taking on Wellington in this year's battle for the Diane Chand. And as we look back over yesteryear, defending champions Pukekohe, the winners the year before that, Wellington, and they meet here in North Harbour to find the best of the best this year. Taking a look at those 2 teams out there, of course, Wellington in the white and blue stripes, Puke in their coveted green and gold. Our 2 umpires out in the middle, Hugh Lees and Callum Haxton, as the teams get through their pleasantries. Well, the Puke side, they've looked hot all weekend. We saw them early doors, and I think they've gone unbeaten since then. Wellington, well, they had a minor stumble against Auckland in a 2-1 loss yesterday, though earning their spot here thanks to a couple of bonus point victories. The cutthroat nature of the tournament this year has meant top of each pool is the only way you can get here, so you had to win your pool outright. No second chances, no semi-finals. This is a straight shootout, first versus first, Hitu, all on the line.
Yeah, exactly right. The change in format has made it difficult, and it's a matter of inches in making this final, and both teams have done well to get here, and it's sure to be a good match. Wellington without Sergeant Patel this year, but they're here in the final and deservedly so. Yeah,
it's no small mention. Sarge, one of the highlights of this tournament for the last few years, as well as the NZI men's team. So they will do it tough without Sarge, but it's created an opportunity, I think, for a number of players in this Wellington side to really step up and contribute to filling that gap.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, you go look at the Pukekohe side, and we've spoken about in previous games, you know, getting the likes of Cal and Nedish back from Australia, and Jared Pancher playing in the side is just, again, just abundance of, like, experience.
Yeah, and we spoke in the ladies' final playoff match, the contrast of styles. Similar here, not so much in playing styles, but it almost looks like top-end talent v. that team that can all get it going together. And it's going to be a big one here. No surprise that these two teams have found their way to the final matchup, and it's Wellington with first real use of it here. Up this left side of the field, keep an eye on her and Marnie there on the ball, always in the mixer. And good first up, probing ball there, and towards the top of the circle. And it's a fast start both ways.
Wouldn't have expected anything less from these two teams. They're not here to muck around. Diane Chan's up for grabs, and you can already see it. Both teams playing with exceptional speed, and I think we're going to see that for most of the game. Yeah,
and the one cool thing that has emerged with the change of format here is this is both teams' first game of the day. This is their only fixture they've been prepping for. There's no double games on the last day for these guys. This is a straight-up battle of who's got it here. And who can get their hands on that Diane Chan. Of course, I mentioned one of the storied trophies in New Zealand sport. For anyone that's been in and around this tournament, man, you can see the pride when a team are able to lift it come the end of the weekend. So it'll be no different out here. Men's A is Pookie trying to put a bit of press on.
Try to take that a little bit too quickly there, but Pukekohe going for their standard high press.
Yep.
High centre striker with three in behind.
Yeah, Kieran Soma up there leading the middle of the press for Pookie. And then they midfield shooter there in Millen. So they start in that 3 up, and then a midfield shooter on the help side to go 4 up, and see that as a target for Pookie. But here come Wellington up the middle of the park. Oh, a lot of space here. They've just fallen off, and second phase.
Still going. Oh, penalty corner.
Pick up the foot of Nedish Suka there. Man, how was the run of Alex Semenko-Bucknell straight up the middle of the park here? Watch it again. And the second phase.
Great work there by DVD in the end, but that run through by Alex, who again is having an exceptional tournament for Wellington, and we just saw his skill and power.
Yeah.
We could see it here on the penalty corner too.
I was just about to say one thing that we have seen. I think we've only seen them play once out on this turf, Wellington, but he's got an absolute rocket on him. Not to be upstage, of course. Nedish Suka on the other side. This could be the flick-off we've been waiting for. Hitu, first one here for Wellington.
Doesn't quite trap it well there.
A little untidy. That's the pressures of a final, and they just got caught running the shepherd line in behind. And Wellington, as we've seen over a number of games this weekend, happy to sit out in this sort of 2-3 half court here. 55, you might call it, with their 2 probes at the front. Trying to just take away, I think, the long ball of Nedish Suka, which we've seen be such a skill.
Yeah, definitely, and just congest the midfield a bit. You know, they've got some good ball players that if you don't shut down their space fast enough, they could be in trouble.
See a bit of forward play up that right side. Under some pressure there, looks like free hit coming for Pookie. They've won it there going forward. Divin pass slot there, just running out of space. Interestingly, Nohan Hensman on the pitch for Pookie. We didn't see him in their earlier game in the weekend, so out there today in the 16 shirt for Pookie. And some subs coming on here now for Wellington while they outlet.
Cool and calm across the circle there by Wellington.
And now working across the middle of the field. It's an excellent outlet passage for Wellington.
Just running out of turf there.
Yeah. And Hitsu, one thing we can notice, hasn't the crowd grown very quickly over that far side of the field?
Oh, well shut out. Yeah, definitely. And I guess off camera, you know, the stadium was building up and, you know, last game of the tournament. And, yeah, great to see the crowd out in support.
Yeah, looks like the boys on the back fence dragged the chairs over from wherever they've found them and parking up as we see Wellington under a bit of pressure to get out here, but well worked. Harrison Klulo it was. Now coming forward. Great tackle. Sakash Hari, who's in the starting squad today for Puki. Across he goes. Hensman looking through that midfield channel. A little untidy from Menezes. And Klulo now. Forward he goes. Trying to take on Milan Patel.
Yeah, he's been a great find this tournament. Harrison playing some good hockey as a youngster.
Oh, probably reliving some of last night's dancing moments out in the middle of the park there. Jaina Chantilal. Oh, here we go. Wellington off a little mistake. In the circle they go. It's on the reverse stick. It's cleaned up by Bhavish Bana and Nidish Suka for Puki.
There's the strength of Kellyanne Jerome there, just coming all the way back from striker, does some defensive work, and then he's ready to go up front. Although he might be making a sub now. He's done a bit too much running.
He's begging for a sub over here. We can't quite see it on camera, but Puki just trying to take a couple of seconds to get that subbing right. And now they come around the back.
So they're going to use their subbing power play from previous games, but they've worked around the right-hand side here.
Oh, inside out. And it doesn't take a number check to figure out who that was after seeing the drag, you know. That, of course, Jared Panchia, one of the very best, not only in the NZI community, but in New Zealand. Of course, a former black stick, and now out here for his beloved Puki. So away come Wellington with a bit of space to play into. Here's a foot race. Oh, Bert Munro would be proud of that one. Down the corner they go. And here, just a little mix-up.
Again, just such fast hockey that we're seeing from both sides. You know, when they attack, they go. Building up somewhat, and then once they're going, they're going.
I was actually going to make mention, I saw just in the warm-up, Callum Haxton, the umpire, doing some 20-metre sprints off the back line, and I was kind of wondering what he was so juiced up about, but this is why. He's going to try and keep up with these fellas. And away come Wellington towards the sideline. This is Chantilal, Jenna Chantilal, into Harrison Klulo. Nice skill there, good patience. And around go Wellington. Up that left side. And back again. Remember the game we did see Wellington, it was a real battle against Bay of Plenty. Remember they came back from down 2-0 to finally work their way into the game and took the victory in the end 5-3, but they've had to battle their way here at Wellington. Puki, well, they've been pretty dominant through the whole tournament. I think recording 5 6s and on their way here.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the case when you haven't quite just had that hard battle and you come up against a side who, you know, will be gutted that they let a game slip. I think we're going to see it here today, just challenging from both sides. But what I like is just the build-up play, recognising that don't have to go forward all the time, just build it up.
Yeah, and it's a real important part of both these teams' games is their ability to move the ball, as we see now. The go forward through Jared Panchia, opening up this left side of the field. Excellent tackle.
Adam Dale there. equal to the task on defence.
Yeah, and I thought one of NZI's best at Heritage a few months ago, Caelan Dahl, and out here, of course, for Wellington, showing why he's such a key member of the side.
Yeah, again, just one of those players who's exceptional on the field and just leadership as well, on and off. It's been really good from Caelan.
Pookie just trying to change some shape a little bit here. Perhaps get Nita Suka a little wider in their outlet to open up this attacking channel. Now he's going to go on the overlap here with Pookie.
Oh, great.
There it is. But an opportunity now with numbers rolling forward here for Wellington. Still go. Yeah, Caelan is an absolute weapon. Look at that. Down to the T-bar, just outruns Akshay Lala down there.
That's one of the strengths of Caelan. Probably not the best option in the midfield where he mistimed that pass, but then he just keeps working. It's so hard to get the ball back off him when he's in that sort of mode.
Yeah, he's the sort of guy, if you're going to beat him, you have to try and beat him 3 or 4 times because he just stays in it. Too far ahead of Harrison Klulo here, though. Hitesh Dyer wins the free hit. A little awkward, but they get it there in the end through Divan Parsot. What a receive.
Oh, just couldn't quite get it, that last pass.
Yeah, a little reverse 3D receive there. Milan Tal, who'd found himself in a pretty good spot.
Nice high press there by Hoki Koiba. Good one-time pass. Unfortunately, the left defender wasn't quite on the same page early enough. But
yeah. This is the exciting thing about this game as a spectator. Yes, both these teams can build up good play. Yes, they've got players. They've also got game breakers and guys that can just create something out of nothing. We saw even that pass there. Really just a one pass into the midfield, but almost cut out 4 with it. That's both these teams possess it, and it's sure to make a pretty exciting one, especially as the clock continues through and the game stays tight.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's been such fast-paced hockey that there's only 3 minutes left of the first quarter.
Yep. There's the big bomb. Nidish trying to link up with his club teammate in Kelly and Jerem there on the back line. Gets it now, Jerem. He's just going to try and work one-on-one. Beats the first one. Very nearly the second one. Take the free hit, though.
Defender's done well to just get those feet outside the circle, and that's probably the key.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen, not only this year, but in previous, what a dynamite player Kelly and Jerem is, especially in and around that dotted circle area. Does some of his best work. And now Wellington, under a bit of pressure. Pookie trying the pocket, but he easily opened up on the other side now. There he is again, Cal, even when he doesn't have the ball. Always working. And there it is. There's the pressure. I thought they'd found an opening on that left side, but excellent effort from Cal there just to slow up the transfer.
Yeah, we've spoken about in other games. He's just such a nuggety striker that on the press he's so dangerous. Just need to almost move it away from the position that he's in.
Yeah. It just adds an extra dimension to it all, doesn't it? For the Pookie side. Or even when they look half beaten, he can just get back into things. And that one, a little messy through the middle. I think at this level of hockey, and a lot of people go, oh, it wasn't really dangerous, there wasn't anybody there. It's also pretty poor skill execution at this level where, I don't think it wants to be rewarded by gaining 50 metres of territory. So, while it didn't go rattling past someone's head, we probably expect a little bit better out of execution from these sides.
Yeah, definitely. With the calibre that's out there, I totally agree with that.
Now, Nidish Suka looking long. And that one's just going to roll out over the back line inside the last minute here. Nothing to trouble the scoring table just yet. Though not without trying. Both teams have been throwing everything in terms of pace. Haven't really seen much of the goalkeepers, but that's going to come if these teams keep playing with this speed. Now Wellington, perhaps they can sniff one crack at it here in the final 20 seconds. So Hiranmani linking back up through the middle. You can see them just trying to force that one there. Skill execution a little off the mark. And that will do it for our first quarter. It is the men's A grand final. The champion of champions here. First versus first in the two pools. Pookie taking on Wellington. There is Saj Patel. What is pretty epic is he knew he couldn't play. Came up to be with the team anyway. That's what it means to these guys. Flew up, of course, from Wellington. He'll be big in the team huddle for Wellington. Yeah, definitely. He's got a wealth of experience, and he'll be humming these boys along with their coach, and so great to have him here. We've spoken about the attacking threats of both sides, but I think defensively, both teams have some really solid defenders in there that's pretty hard to attack, so both teams need to be good. Yeah, we'll see some of these first quarter highlights. This is the second phase build-up there. The Wellington team which earned the first penalty corner. I'll be disappointed in the execution of this one, unfortunately, because they didn't get it right. The overrun and then the Shepherd there. A little bit scratchy, but that's a final. And again, this circle entry on the baseline. Talk about defensive groups. Look at that. Patience of Nidish. Composure of Barvish. And then Pookie, well, they had a couple of opportunities. This one, Willem Patel just couldn't quite dish that last pass. And some of the supporters there, Mills, Nohan, Nidish, some of the names in the Pookie side. It's been really cool to see quite a few of the teams going with the hand-painted signs through the weekend, and always cool when you can look up and get that little bit of extra boost from the crowd. Yeah, definitely. We've been really lucky, I think, this tournament to see a lot of local support and people travelling to be here, and great to see the signs, the face paints, and the other day we saw the young youth kids out there as well. Real cool. Yeah, and I think it is one of the major advantages of having it, in and around the Auckland area. You've got Harbour, Auckland and Pookie Indians all pretty close, all within travelling distance to get here, for day trips, and then even Waikato's not too far away. So it has made a well-supported tournament, and one that has lived up both on and off the fields. That's a great overhead. Yeah. Going backwards to go forwards here. Pookie, Callian. Trying to find a way through. Trying to ask for his players to... Yeah. Instead, opts to go back out through Nidish. Nohan with the inside drag and a bit of space now. What a ball. Here we go. Pookie loading up. Nobody there, though. For such a tidy build-up, that pass from Nohan there. A little bit disappointing they didn't have something in the circle. No, usually I think Hiddesdale finds himself on the end of it versus giving it, potentially trying to find himself there. But yeah, of course, Hiddesdale probably, he definitely is one of the seasoned, more experienced senior guys in this Pookie side. Been there, done that for a number of years here in the Green and Golds. And comes Alex Semenko Bucknell for Wellington. Dropping it off is Hiranmani. And Josh Thurosingham working 3D baseline. Penalty corner. And there they are again. Wellington showing they can go from anywhere at any time. Yeah, great play there by Evan Hiranmani. He just slipped but knocked it back to DVD and just kept the ball in play, and just like that, they've earned themselves a good penalty corner there. Yeah, and this is the one they'll be talking about it. Hey, fellas, we didn't get it right last time. We just have to get some execution here and force a save out of Barvi or one of the linemen from Pookie. It's like Hiranmani will trap on the first bracket for Alex Semenko Bucknell. And DVD he'll inject. Here it is. That's better. And it's straight through the pins. It's a nightmare for Barvi. You saw it late and too late.
Not sure he'll want to replay that one,
No.
unfortunately.
It is. It's straight down the middle.
Didn't quite get a hold of it, but just enough power just to offset that Barvish there. And those are the ones the goalkeepers just don't want to look back on.
Yeah, and it's, it can be tough as a goalkeeper when you're so prepped for any aerial assault. We've seen Alex bury a few in the net over the weekend. You can often forget your feet are down there, and just came straight down the line. An awkward one for Barbie. Saw it late, and that's all the invitation Alex needed to put Wellington on the scoreboard here, 1-0.
They're back on attack here straight away.
Yeah.
Well shut down there between Brett and Needish there.
You've heard a few of the support crew calling him Blu-ray these days when he's looking that sharp, especially in the blue kit. Old DVD, he's getting the upgrades. And here comes Pookie. Oh, he's kept it in somehow. And now forward through Milan Patel. A big noise, but not a lot in it. Just a little unfortunate there. Mills goes again. He's going to try and take them all on, including Kelly and Jerem. We've seen some teammate tackles over the weekend, but it's probably not the intention as Cal searching for a way through.
Oh,
nothing coming.
Going.
Oh, and this is huge for Wellington.
Oh, here we go. Joshua's
one.
Oh,
Needish. He did so well on the initial trap and just ran into it.
Yeah, thought he almost had it. Not so clean from Wellington on that break, but they got enough and they've earned themselves another penalty corner.
No, it's unfortunate. The pass forward to Josh Thoreau-Singham just held up a little bit long. I think if he'd got it early and could have gone across almost immediately, they almost would have been able to walk one in. But the scramble there from Pookie, aided a little bit by some of the speed of the ball from Wellington. But now here's a big ask from Pookie. They've just conceded one from the penalty corner. They need to be good here, otherwise they're going to find themselves in a 2-goal hole early. That's better from Barbie. And free hit out. Well cleaned up. That's better from the man in goal for Pookie. Saw that one, saw it early.
Definitely they had a little bit more heat on it. Alex probably didn't, again, just put it where he wanted to get it, but Barbie's done really good to save that one and equal to the task again.
Yeah. And now Pookie, wow, they're out to the races. Brett Menezes looking. Oh, and that might have been one of the coolest bit of defensive work I've ever seen. The knee slide. The knee slide along with them. Managed to get back to his feet. It's not the most highlight play, but it could be a cool watch again.
Definitely so. It's one of those ones where you've got to get those ones right.
Yeah.
And he's got it right.
Oh, those are the plays that can so easily be a stroke. If he ends up, not being able to hold his composure on the knees there and takes out Brett Menezes, it's a stroke every day of the week. And instead, he stands up and what a hero play there in defence. So just a little scrap in here for possession. Harrison Clulo coming away with it. He's got a bit of pace. Going to try and go on the outside of Jared Panchia. Instead turns him. Still going, Clulo. Oh, huge penalty corner. You can't believe it.
They're a little bit hard done by there.
Yeah, I might
one of those ones we might not call this one, Brad, I don't think.
No,
we'll stay out of this one.
We'll have a look at it. It's great skill, Sean. Have a look at this. At full speed to stop on a dime. Have a look at this. Puts the brakes on. Inside. Just shields the ball well enough. There is a little stick contact there, but it's a big call. It's a big one. And Pookie, they're asking a lot out of the defensive group at the moment. This is massive.
Yeah, their fourth penalty corner now, I think it is. And
time, it's Liam Patel.
Another young kid that's been playing some good hockey over the weekend.
Yep.
And good finish.
Have a look at it on the replay. Oh, that's in the corner. And for such a big guy, looking at that and you see the replay, he's able to shape to the open side and then late hook it around to that narrow post, which is why Barvey got caught on the wrong side of the goal there. But excellent execution from the young fella at the penalty corner bracket. It's a little bit different to the style of Alex Semenko-Bucknell, who's all gas. Everything is just 100 miles. That one there from Liam Patel, that's all placement and a bit of deception as well.
Yeah, very good execution.
And now Pookie for the first time, really with their backs on the wall here. We haven't seen them concede 2 goals in a game, let alone be down 2 goals this weekend. I think if we look through their results, 5-1, 6-0, 4-1 off the top of my head, and in the driver's seat for all of them. So to be down 2-0, we're either going to see one of the great comeback performances or Wellington just classing their way through it. And I'm glad that there's still over 35 minutes left to play here, Hits, because this is going to be huge.
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same. I think it's one of those ones where Pookie have found themselves in different territory in this game right now, but they definitely got the skills and talent to peg back this lead.
And you mentioned it earlier, battle-hardened is often the term that we use for teams that have had to go through some tough matches or some adversities on their way to a final. Perhaps not the way we can describe Pookie in their lead-up. Like I said, cruise control for a lot of them, whereas Wellington will have had to do it dirty sometimes and even drop the game. So perhaps they have that little upper hand in terms of being able to grind one out here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's one of those ones where Wellington have just come off a loss against Auckland, and Pukekohe, although they didn't play some good hockey in their last match, they got away with a 4-1 win, and now they're up against the Wellington side who's very hot on the heels.
Yeah, here they go again. Harrison Klulo trying to work his way through. The one thing that will give you some confidence as a Pookie supporter, how's that tackle from Jared Panchia? One thing that will give them a lot of confidence is they know they can score goals.
Yeah,
they know
exactly
they've got no
right.
shortage of goal scoring in them. Another great tackle in defence. This time Nohan Hensman and keeps it in. Oh,
he's still going.
This is just incredible pace. Pookie know if they can get it to click, they've got them in them.
Definitely, and you talked about goal scorers, and I think one of the things they need to look for is they can score field goals, but they also have a very good penalty corner threat. So, it's another great tackle.
Yeah, this is some of the best hockey you've seen in a long time here, this game, both sides of it. Obviously Wellington on the scoreboard lead, but Pookie showing some real class as well. Here's Callan Jerem getting himself a little bit closer to the action in the middle of the field. And you heard the cheers go up from the crowd in front of us there for Christian Patel, who'd gone on a little bit of a run up the middle for Pookie. Divin pass out there. They'll roll the overs down that right side. And free hit going the way of Wellington. Less than 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Wellington up 2-0 thanks to penalty corners to Alex Semenko-Bucknell and Liam Patel. In this first half of the men's championship game, Diane Chan on the line. It's been back and forth. It's been 100 miles an hour. There's been no let up from either team. And if we got 33 and a half more minutes of this, you still got time to get down here if you live in the area. I wouldn't be missing it. Otherwise, fire up the YouTube and get NZISA on your tallies at home. Tell your mate, send them the link, get amongst it. This is going to be epic. Last 30 here. See, Pookie searching for something. Oh. There he is again, Kalen Dahl, just pushing the envelope there for his team. Oh, that's really unfortunate.
And this could be the moment.
And this could be, once we get the context of the game, this could be the moment they look back and go, wow, this changed everything if Pookie can execute here, get one back before the halftime break, and take away that breathing room of Wellington on a pretty unforced error, unfortunately, there for Wellington. This is it. This is the moments that finals are made of, hits, and you talked about the penalty corner. They've got one in them.
Yeah, definitely. And, with less than 3 minutes to go, it's a crucial time for Pukekohe to hit back.
So the obvious option here, of course, is Nidish Suka on the first bracket. It is Suka. It's messy at the top. Holy, that one had to be cut out. Wasn't the most difficult in the world. It was dead flat, which was nice, but there were two players hunting in the circle. That's a let-off for Wellington. That penalty corner untidy.
Definitely. We've seen it a few too many times this tournament where, you don't get many opportunities, and so those are the ones you have to make count.
Yeah, and we saw it also with Wellington's first one. Just untidy. Fortunately for them, they had a few more goes at it. Pookie, well, they probably needed that one just in terms of the balance of it going into the halftime break. There's this one cut out. Here he is again. And now plays the shooter.
He's
my
almost
goodness.
cut that one out of the air.
Kalen Dial, absolutely fearless. And they come in, and there's a cute little high five to each other's chests, I think that was, where Hiran Mani playing the spoiler there with the boot. Here's Jared Panchia taking on DVD. Back towards the middle, Millen dragging. Baseline here for Pookie. It's going to be a free hit there for Pookie. Loud whistle. I thought it might have been something a little more. And in goes Ishan. Still going, Ish. Was in front of an open goal there. Cleared away, and now at the race. Hiramani. Here we go. This is it. 1-on-1. And it goes. What a goal. Akshay Lala. What a release from Hiramani. And they go end to end in 3 passes. Wellington, have they just put the first hole in the ship that is Pukekohe? Wowee, what a finish there, just right on the stroke of halftime. Look at the replay here, 3D from Hiran, lets it go. And this might be one of the cooler finishes. Through the feet of Bhavish Bana, look at him.
And he toyed with the edge of the circle there, but credit to him, just inside. And Wellington, what an exceptional second quarter there.
Yeah, we talk about that was the moment that Pookie could have flipped this game on its head. Instead, triple backflip, Wellington up 3-0, and just like that, this game has really pushed out now for Wellington, and it's going to either, like I said, take some heroic effort from Pookie, or Wellington are just going to grind their way out of this one. And man, what an exciting 30 minutes we got coming up.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said, this is a game to watch, and we've already seen such great talent and some good goals, and I'm sure Pookie won't go down without a fight.
No, that's it. And look, if there's a team that can score 3 goals in 5 minutes, it's this Pookie side. We're going to be looking forward to it. We're going to check out some of the highlights in just a short minute after this quick ad break. Welcome back here to the men's A final between Pukekohe and Wellington. Let's check out some of those first half highlights. Let's start here, a little second wave for Wellington in the first penalty corner. As you'll see coming through, penalty corners with the flavour of the day from Wellington. This one, unfortunately, a little messy to start. Came straight back down and earned themselves a couple more, as you see. This little play here, in along the baseline, well defended by Nidish and Bhavish. That little run from Sunil Patel. Pookie, they had a couple of small opportunities, just not able really to execute in front of goal. That one there missed by Millen. Patel, this one though, that's not missed. That's straight as you like, and straight on the scoreboard for Alex Samiko Bucknell. Not long after the save from Bharvi. Good adjustments made there by the Pookie defenders. Brett Menezes, let's have a look at this one. The knee slide, look at it. Gets back to his feet.
Talk about agile defending.
That's unreal from Wellington, and then on the backs of players like Harrison Plulo, Devini Bicker, Kalen Dial. Wellington just started to press and create opportunities. This one right in the corner. You can see Barbish just taken off balance. Liam Patel. That one unfortunate for Pookie. That was their big opportunity, and not long after that, well, they went coast to coast, Wellington. And Akshay Lala, like you said, millimetres inside the circle. He went early, showed his hand early, and put it away. And that is the 3-goal buffer that Wellington enjoy at the moment. Both teams have been playing at an electric pace. This has been probably the quickest and highest tempo game we've seen in a long time. This tournament or any others. And Wellington, the other ones able to capitalise on it at the moment, too, and deserve it at the moment.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's one of those ones where Wellington are 3-0 up. Do they, play a little bit more conservative and be very defensively sound because Pookie are the ones chasing? No doubt Pookie aren't going to be stopping. They're going to have to be relentless in this half.
Yeah, that's it, and not to put a game plan in this Wellington team. I don't think Pookie are the side that you can just try and park the bus against. They're way too talented and way too loaded with goal scorers for you to last 30 minutes of parking the bus. And it's, again, not the strength of Wellington just to go and sit in their own circle. They've got game breakers, they've got speed, and I strongly believe that they're going to just keep going here, and it's working at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think they know they need to find the 4th or even the 5th to really put a good Pookie side out of reach. And if they don't, Pookie Co will look to peg it back, and I think we're in for a good contest and a good half.
Yeah, as we see a little pinch on the press here. Hiran Mani will just hold it up, looking for extras, and here they come through the skipper. Not the most convincing clearance there from Barbish. Perhaps a little bit tentative there after that late flurry from Wellington. Here come the side in white and blue again.
Great piece of skill. He's
still going.
To a DVD.
Oh,
Hiramani there just showcasing his skills.
And now the reset through the long corner for Wellington. Got shooting up now is Kalenjerim trying to put a press on and just being made to do length at the moment.
Yeah, very smart from the Wellington defenders here. Yep. Just very comfortable on the ball, recognising Cal's doing a lot of work, and if they can just keep making a move, then potentially might get a bit tired. Yeah,
and I think the other thing that they recognise is he came alone. Pookie didn't really have anybody else there with him, and it's a lot of running to do when you're by yourself, so you saw him then just pull out of it and try and reset, but Wellington break it down again, and they haven't stopped going forward all game. Across it goes.
He's called the penalty
on the corner. Had already been called. It's a fantastic ball across the circle, pushed in past Barbish, hits the post, finds Barbish again, I think, on the shoulders.
It's the Pookie Koi guy, is it? Or?
Yep, and then rolled in. If we have a look at this. Not post. It's gone Barbish straight onto the defender there in front of the goal and back out. It did roll in the end, but penalty corner already called. What a scramble there. What a start from Wellington. Man, there is no bus stop in sight for Wellington. Good save, Barbie. Second from Josh Thurai Singham. Straight in it goes.
Finish.
And they go out to number 4. The penalty corner follow-up from Josh Thurai Singham there. Absolutely class finish. It was a good first-up save, but like I mentioned before, a little tentative on the saves at the moment, Barbie. He's probably feeling the pressure a little bit, and the follow-up there sitting for Wellington, and you might say deserved considering it did go over the line before the penalty corner.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think Josh just staying real composed in front of it. It was a pretty direct flick, but they've worked well to get off the keeper, and great finish there by Josh. And Pookie find themselves in crazy territory, being 4-0 down in the final.
Yeah, that's it. This is uncharted for Pookie, but is this the start?
Oh, well defended. Rohan and goal went down pretty early.
Yeah.
Cal was trying to find it, but just backed up by his defence there, Rohan, which is just outstanding from Wellington.
It was a nice little pass in. I think it was Hiddish Dyer who just flicked it in to Cal and couldn't quite get the finish. Oh, that's special. Millen searching. First to it. Wellington clean up. Fortunately, because Kieran Somar come running in with a stick over his head. Wellington, we've got an answer for everything at the moment.
Yep, they've started the way they left off that second half, the first half.
Oh,
but
here we go though,
Millen Patel.
Oh, he's got an incredible shot away considering there's a rogue stick rolling around the ball.
Well, I feel like he wanted the penalty corner on that one. Maybe he shouldn't have shot. He's asking where's the penalty corner, but he's taken the shot.
Yeah. And it was a good quality shot too that he managed to get away. Excellent save called on by Rohan.
Yeah, we called it. Pukekohe aren't, they're not going to let this go. They're going to keep going right down till the end.
No, absolutely. If anybody watching or anybody who has any sort of knowledge of these teams in this tournament thought that we were going to grind out to 3-0, no shot. No shot as here come Pookie. And that little sequence there kind of sums up how it's been for Pookie at the moment. They're actually getting into the circle and getting into good spots, but just falls over for them in that last instance, which is interesting considering they have been so clinical in front of goal in the build-up to today.
Yeah, I think, you got to give credit where credit's due in terms of the Wellington defence, which is just making it, 10 times harder as good as they are, Pukekohe, to get something out of it. And, potentially they need to look for a few more penalty corners or something like that. But Wellington's defence is holding up pretty strong right now. Yeah,
it is. It is. And, as much as they'll credit 4 goals on the scoreboard, I'm sure when they're talking about these first 2.5 periods, they'll be crediting their defence and keeping everything out. Here comes Harrison Klulo trying to get on the outside. Great tackle, Ryan Hensman. And that one's going to fall there for Hiddish Dyer. If he can open up the other side. Oh, cut out. And here come Wellington. Alex Semenko Bucknell. Oh, threads the needle.
It was such a great ball.
Yeah, Kalen Dial there just couldn't get on the end of it. Even a diving touch pass might have done it for them. And Pookie now. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is going to be some incredible performance if they are to get back into this one. But they're the defending champions for a reason. They're unbeaten and they've piled goals on. They just need that turning point. This could be it with Jared Panchia searching.
Oh, so close on that right-hand post.
Yeah. That time Nathan Somar, they're up on the post for Pookie after a little bit of magic from Jared Panchia. We'll turn over there from Hiddish Dyer. Here's Ishan. Still here for Pookie, Nathan Somar. Oh, just nobody in the mixer.
Touch.
It was a nice one-touch pass in from Brett Menezes.
Yeah, great quick play. Just that final little piece in the circle. Yeah. They just haven't quite got in this game.
And it's now down for Wellington. Wow. Yeah, that's a little probing ball towards the circle. They were one-on-one in the back there. A little touch away had to be made by Christian Patel. And now just finding space, Wellington, so well.
Tackle from
Harrison Klulo. Another one. It's almost 2 in a row there. And we spoke about the clinical performance of North Harbour in the ladies' competition. This could be equal to it here from Wellington. They've been incredible. Though here comes Jared Panchia trying to put a stop to that.
Yeah, if there's one person that's going to turn this game around, it's going to be Jared Panchia, I feel, for Pukekohe.
Here it is. Oh,
so close again.
Pittish-Daya. Man, we've seen that turn games for years in this green and gold strip. I think you could probably count more he's made than those he's missed in that instance. Wow. And that's the style of goal that could turn things around. That's the sort of thing that just pumps the team up. It's unfortunate it's gone wide.
Definitely. Also sums up probably the first part of the game where that those that usually turn into goals, they haven't quite found it.
Yeah.
But here comes Jared Pancher again.
Searching, beating one, turns. Just can't get through. Yeah, right on the edge of the circle. It's great defensive work in the end by DVD. And interestingly, I'm not sure if it's just the timing of it at the moment, but Hoodoo haven't seen much of Nita Suka on the park in this third quarter.
No, I was just looking for him before, and yeah, you're quite right. We haven't seen him potentially at all in this quarter.
Yeah, I'm wondering, we don't have a hotline down into the dugouts, but I'm wondering if maybe an injury or something that's keeping him out of action, because I'm pretty sure we haven't seen him in this third quarter.
Yeah, you would have thought it will be an injury. It's not like Nidish to not be playing in big games like this. This is what he thrives for.
Good pressure by Pookie, but equal composure showing there. All right, Sachin Dadra. Called early by Nyan Hensman. Akshay Lala, well, he said, oh, we may as well just make it a free hit. And that perhaps sums it up for Pookie at the moment. Just missing a little bit on the ends of things. And down over the back line it goes. Wellington, well, they'll sit back out to that 2-3-55, I imagine, here. Pookie trying to go sideline to find a way through. Falling back out into a back four just to try and push some wing halves into those areas.
Yeah, great movement here by Wellington. Pookie have found a way through.
And here it is. Oh.
Again, just that last pass gone begging, last little bit of execution required to make something happen in the circle, and they've just another skill execution error.
Yeah, Akshay Uka there in good spot, but just, like I said, couldn't pull it in. And here goes Ishan, penalty corner. Shoulder just coming in on the challenge there. And Kellyan just trying to fire the boys up as well. Look at him, there he is in the huddle, giving the pat on the head to Ishan, who did really well there.
Be interesting now, Brad, with Nidish off the field, the variations they've got.
Yeah, I don't want to call it early, but I'm going Jared Pancher, just dribble past all five of them.
Not a bad shout, not a bad option.
He is up there at the bracket, so is Milan Patel. I'm not sure either of them are incredibly noted drag flickers. Jared certainly not setting up for one. Will be Milan. Yeah, not the world's flashiest looking drag flick from Mills. Did force a save.
I've not seen him flick before,
no,
but credit to him. He's having a crack and having a go.
And now just removing some more of the rubbish off the pitch. Yeah, no, I've not seen Mills flick either, and yeah, like I said, wasn't the most convincing looking drag flick. And here come Wellington. Oh, that's excellent. And the overs line now from Hiranmani. He's looking. Link back up in the middle. Oh, how have they found passes? DVD across it goes. Oh, swatted at a couple of times from both teams.
Still in the circle here. Oh, well done.
Yeah, good clean up there in the end. Janabana.
They've got a free hit though, so Pokioyan out of trouble here. I've been incredibly impressed by Wellington's ability to just keep finding an open man. Like even on that
break forward there. You thought they might have thrown a contested 50 into the circle and just kept finding another player. We'll see it again here. There it is. Oh. Yeah, I know it's almost the middle of winter, but there is some heat on that defensive group of Pookie at the moment. They're going to be feeling it, especially without Nidish back there. This Wellington team, I know you always hear people say you can't beat Welly on a good day. I don't think they're talking about the weather. This is something special from the boys in white and blue at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Execution's been pretty top-notch from them today. To be 4-0 up against a very good Pookie side is pretty exceptional from their part.
Yeah, that's it. And if you'd gone along to TAB this morning, I think you were getting about $11 for Wellington up 4. Not to say they weren't in the key to win it, but to be up by 4 is huge against a pretty quality Pookie outfit. Still fighting for it too, Wellington. In the last 30 seconds of this third quarter, they might fancy themselves for another one. Marnie.
Oh,
he's done it.
Diving.
Aaron Marnie, just as I mentioned, clock counting down. There he is. It's the 5th goal and the 5th different goal scorer for Wellington.
And just before quarter time, Brad, that has got to be a killer.
Yeah, have a look at this. It's come off an unfortunate turnover too there on the edge. Marnie diving. And there it is. Aaron Marnie.
That's been the story of the game, though, Brad. They're just able to turn these little things into great execution, and unfortunately for Koea, they're turning into goals on the scoreboard.
And this will go down certainly through 3 quarters as one of the all-time performances in a Indian Hockey Championship final. This might be some of the best hockey we've ever seen out of a side through 3 quarters, and not to take away from Pookie, who are trying to stand up and do their best. It's just all going the way of Wellington.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this last quarter, but, you know, when you're 5-0 down against Wellington, as hot as they are right now, it's going to be a hard one for Pookie.
Yep, that's it. And the crowd there being treated to an absolute display of execution from the boys down in the capital. This one, a follow-up from Josh Durai singing. Saw their Barvish just never able to get set on the second one. There's been a couple of opportunities, but look, they've been pretty opportunistic, really. The ones for Pookie, we saw this one here, Dylan Patel, even that ended up being a shot on goal. The best of it so far for Pookie is you see Jimmy Coughlin down on the bottom of your screen there, who is leading the boys from Pookie this weekend. Look, they've got a lot of work to do, and even me, one of the heartiest believers in the Pookie outfit, I'm not sure they can get there with 5 goals on the scoreboard for Wellington.
No, I agree. I think, if there's something to happen, they need to score early and they need to score first.
Yeah, and it's not even a case of, well, they need to be the next ones to score. They probably need to score 2 in the first 5 minutes, realistically, to avoid Wellington then just putting the brakes on it anyway. This is... we haven't seen holes like this in Pookie since they redid the road, and over Wellington go. Early call there. And as minor as even that just looks there, just these little periods where 3 more, 5 more seconds tick off the clock, it all hurts here for Pookie.
Yeah, exactly right. And, Wellington will know they've got to keep the pressure on. 5 goals is always hard to come back by. So if they keep the pressure on, then, it'll be even harder for Pookie.
And, purely from a, ideas perspective, thinking out loud, would it, perhaps be an opportunity to come out in the quarter, start the quarter without a goal in, just go 11 up and see what happens?
Here comes Josh on a break.
This might disprove my theory if they score straight away, but well defended. Just as an option, just to throw something different at them for the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, look, sometimes I think, when you do plays like that and you do start without your goalkeeper, the other team starts, reacting in different ways as well. Yep. And sometimes that's what you want. You want a reaction, and that can kind of put them off their game, because right now Wellington are probably pretty comfortable, and rightly so, they're 5-0 up. Yeah, and it's perhaps a time coming off a break where you can talk about it a little bit, make sure everyone's on the same page, and then execute it out of a play, but...
You're not going to be able to execute much if you keep letting Wellington have goal-scoring opportunities like this. The blowtorch hasn't let up. Hitu, this is tough stuff for Pookie.
No, Wellington are searching for their six. They're going to be so relentless. Interestingly,
need to just come back onto the field now for Pookie. And he will go back out to the back. I thought maybe got the magic rub-downs in the dugout and good to go again.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. You know, they're 5-0 down and Nish is back in the field. I'm not sure if he's running around as normally as he does right now, but
I think like we identified in that last penalty corner effort, if they are going to find a miracle through, they need everybody on board, and even if it's a half limping Nidish, if he can flick one, it might help. And look, he's got a 3.5 hour flight back to Melbourne to relax on after this. As you see the tackle made there. The stick's almost gone into the goal. It's not that far back. Oh, Durasingham.
Oh, save. Oh, a great opportunity there.
What a first. I've got to say, that save from Bhavesh Bana is so good off that reverse stick shot from Josh Durasingham. It's going to fall here for Wellington. Jerem trying to make a mess of things, but free hit going the way of Wellington. And just like that, 3 minutes of tick down already in this fourth quarter. And Wellington playing with some good composure at the moment.
Yeah, he's able to string 1, 2, 3 passes together and holding onto position really well and then attacking at the right moments. And it's been the story of this game today.
Now forced to go backwards a little bit here, Wellington. Under a bit of pressure, searching for something. Yeah, he's definitely not running as freely as you'd like. See there, I'd say it's his left hammy. Nidish. But here come Pookie. And that one just cut out midway through the circle there. And long corner, we'll go back there to Ryan Hensman here. Nidish Suka definitely playing under an injury cloud. And Jared Panchia now trying to work some magic, beats one, still going, Panchia, in it goes. And well defended again by Wellington.
Yeah, just equal to the task here, Wellington. Yep. You know, they're great at scoring goals, but the defence has been outstanding today.
And now they get on a roll. This is where they're dangerous, when they can open up both sides of the field. Oh, read by Brett Menezes and wins the free hit. They take it quickly here, Pookie. You can see there, just from some of the body language of the players around there, they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what the plan is at the moment, and some are going a little rogue. Little moments like that don't help. Here they go, 5v5. Oh, it's going to work out. It's not how they drew it up. And fortunately there for Pookie, it rolls over the back line, and now we're inside 10 left to go. Nidish goes straight down the field to Divin. And an extra. This is a little bit better from Pookie. There's some space here. But again, pretty easily cut out, and even Kelly and Jerem can't make anything of it for Pookie. He's going to go and try and have a crack himself. Panchia. Silky. Still going. Jared Panchia. What a tackle. That's where it's been won here for Wellington. Yes, they've scored 5 goals, and it's not even making saves that's keeping them in it. It's eliminating the chance at a shot. And those sort of plays there where Jared Panchia is beating a couple of people, or Kelly and Jerem's trying to find his spot on the baseline. They've just taken away any opportunity that Pukekohe have tried to have before even having to make the saves. Excellent from Wellington.
Yeah, just great all round. You know, they've executed on attack, but equally so on defence, and it's made it very difficult for this attacking threat of Pukekohe to even get through or get anything from it. They've only had one penalty corner all game, or two penalty corners all game.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the realities of it, I think
great piece of skill there.
Still going, and the second wave, Caelan Dial.
Oh, so very close.
Yeah, if we look at it, I think Rohan Patel's only actually made 2 saves in the game. That one off Millen up in the air, and then the drag flick as well. And that's just a testament to the way the defence has been working before it gets to Rohan.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, credit to Bhavesh because he's actually made a few saves. It just shows how relentless Wellington's been today.
Yeah, that's it. In the grand scheme of things, he's made some absolute speckies, Bhavi, but you throw enough at him and sooner or later you're going to break through, and they have here. Wellington, there you can see the hobbled run of Nidish.
Yeah, he's fighting through in true Pukekohe spirit. You know, he's still fighting hard.
Yeah, gritting his teeth and just doing the work. And here maybe the one for Puki.
That sums it up a little bit, doesn't it, Brad? Yeah. Just last piece of execution. They're making some great attacking threats, and they just can't get that last shot or last pass away.
Yeah. That. You know, you hate to say it, but if you'd seen that at the other end, I'd say that's almost buried in the back of the net without question, and just falling away from it there, Puki. It's unfortunate because, like I said, they've had no shortage of goals through the weekend, just really missing that icing today in the final.
Yeah, and, you know, if we spoke about it before the game, no one would have ever predicted the scoreline of 5-0. No. And it has been a close contest. The difference is just execution.
Yeah, and look, the crazy thing is, and you can't often say this, I don't think, in a final with a scoreline like this. This very easily could have been 5-0 the other way. You know, had things ebbed and flowed in different periods of the game. Not to take anything away from Wellington's dominant performance, but we've seen performances like this from Puki. So, you know, this is Wellington at their very best this afternoon.
All smiles here with less than 7 minutes to go here from the Wellington side.
Yeah. The trucks pulled up in the Engravers car park. The Diane Chan's on the back, and there's 3 bottles of the big stuff already down there in the sheds for Wellington. They just got to get through 6 more minutes of it. In it comes Puki. There's a save, and again cleaned up. No second chances for Puki. And they'll go again here. Wellington. Take their breath. Let their subs roll on and off. Liam Patel here on the ball. He's one of the goal scorers in the final. And one thing that has been pretty cool, we just see the transfer. 5 different goal scorers. I made mention of it when Hiran Mani scored his. That just is so hard to defend because you can't even isolate 1 or 2 players or 1 or 2 plays. They've got corners, field goals, and 5 different scorers. It's been near on perfect by
exactly
Wellington.
Right. You know, like you've got that looks like a penalty corner for Wellington there, but that's exactly right. You know, you're getting penalty corners and you've got some good specialists up there, but then you're also scoring some field goals, and 5 different players scoring goals is pretty exceptional.
Yeah, that's it. As you see, Wellington huddle in for their penalty corner. Puki, well, they've just got to chuck the mouth guard in, bite down on it, and try and defend their hearts out here.
Yeah, or could this be the icing on the cake for Wellington?
It looks like both the flickers are up there at the moment. Alex Smeko Bucknell, maybe actually Sachin Dadra. And under 5 left to go. Here come Wellington. First up save. This could trigger something here if they get it going quickly. And who's there? Caelan Dial.
Yep, there he is again.
Yeah, the man who's been everywhere today.
Yeah, he's having a cracker. It's one of those ones where, you know, you call upon senior players, but it's just the work rate of someone like Caelan who motivates the rest of the team to be doing the same. He did it for the NZ Indians this year as well. He almost played on one leg in the final, and nothing stops the guy.
No, that's it. And we spoke about in the build-up, you know, this Wellington side missing Sarjan Patel. It almost seems as though every other player has added 5% to their own game, and they've meshed the gap pretty well. You still imagine there's probably one of the most prolific attacking players in the entire tournament sitting in the dugout with the civvies on. What a performance by Wellington. And it's going to sit here for Puki. Panchia holds the T-bar. Still going here. Is this the one? They still can't find a way.
And that sums it up.
Yeah, that sequence right there.
Just one of those days for Puki Kaui, and it happens to the best of the teams, and just hasn't been their day today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Puki, but that does sum it up. It's been everything and nothing for them today. So you see Mahoney start to look creative and cut out though by Nohan Hensman. Can they find one in these last 3 minutes here, Puki? We go. Bit of time here for Ishan. And again, defended every single thing Puki have thrown. Wellington have had the answer and more today. Hitu, both sides of the ball, they've been incredible. And even down to shots like that, where they could just, let them have a shot. It's pretty low angle. They're in contesting.
No, they're going to pride themselves here and make it very difficult for this Puki side to even get the one.
And a little over 2 minutes left to play here. Millen going for a little bit of a freestyle along the baseline.
There we go again.
I feel like I sound like a broken record, but it just keeps happening for them here. And now 4-on-2 numbers. Hiranmani. Oh, what a pick on one leg. Nita Suka there. Oh.
Needed to happen. There was a fast break numbers coming through, and even on one leg, he can still make the defensive play.
Wellington, they got 90 seconds left here. Like you said, they'll want to keep Puki scoreless.
Yeah, they'll pride themselves on a clinical performance here.
Nidish again making defensive plays on one leg and one arm, I think, that time. And again, ball will just roll away into Jared Panchia. Panchia across the field, linking up with Brett Menezes. And inside a minute now, Wellington.
Just comfortable with the position here.
Yep.
Like I said, they won't want to concede. They've had an amazing game today, and they'll want to close this out.
And they can put it down to a complete performance today as well. It's not just been fortunate goal scoring or lucky periods of attack. They've been absolutely clinical right across the park, and deserved champions in the end here. Jared Panchia has one last crack at it.
That will be it. They won't rush this one.
No, they'll count the last 10 seconds down with Kalen Dahl on the ball. Out it goes to the corner. And there you have it. This year's 2024 New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship winners of the men's A section. It's the Wellington Indian Sports Club who steal it back from Pukekohe. Short-lived, the hands on their Diane Chand. It's going back down to the capital. And there you see it. Jindra, what a performance. What an absolute domination of a final. And I can't pick any holes in that performance from Wellington.
No, very clinical today, and deserved winners of the Diane Chand today. And they've had a few close games throughout the tournament, but they really finished off today. Yeah,
and what a time to have your best performance in the tournament. That's the time where champions stand up, and I think everybody in the Wellington kit grew an inch in today's final, and man, they were absolutely exceptional. Not to take anything away from Pukekohe, we know that they're always right at the top of things, and they've been the dominant force this weekend. Just couldn't get things happening this game and couldn't piece it together in front of goal. They'll be bitterly disappointed, but what it does make is a pretty fired up Pookie side going into next year's tournament, and a Wellington team looking to double up again.
Yeah, exactly right, and I think, what a spectacle for the spectators. 5-0 scoreline, but some great hockey from both sides.
Yeah, that's it. And usually you'd look at a 5-0 and go, bit of a dusty final, not really in it, but that thing was incredible. That was such a fast-paced game from the first hit-off to the last possession. What a spectacle. A lot of people showed out for today's final, and they were treated to some absolute cracking hockey here between Wellington and Pukekohe. And look, what a way to finish your weekend at what I think's been one of the best Indian hockey tournaments here, hosted by North Harbour. And they've been fantastic. We're going to throw down to S-Man down on the turf, who's looking... in fact, we were going to hear from DVD, but you don't take a winning captain out of his team cheers. Not after a final. You want to be able to enjoy it in there. If we can talk to them, we'll chuck it down, but at the moment we're letting Wellington bask in the glory there of reclaiming the Diane Chand for 2024. Look at them, all smiles. They had to go through the pain of losing one at home, where Pookie came into their own grounds and took it. This time they travel up and take one back. Wellington here, and 5-0. There's no sweeter feeling than having the Diane Chand on the plane ride back to Wellington.
Yeah, exactly right. And, I think overall the tournament's been outstanding, and there's been some great hockey, great food, great social.
Yeah, and what a weekend. Fortunately, we are going to throw down to S-Man, who is down on the turf with some of the players. Suresh, down to you.
Good afternoon, and that concludes our men's finals match. I'm Suresh Wallop. I'm here with Pukekohe captain Callian Jerem. Cal, pretty tough one in the end there.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the Wellington boys were just class today. They were the better side, hands down. But proud of our boys. We've gone 4 finals in a row, so for a team from a small town, it's pretty impressive. So, yeah, but well done, Wellington boys.
Thanks, Cal. I'll let you go back and hang out with the team. Thank you, my friend. Thanks. Okay, now I've got Devanan Beaker. Devanan?
How's it going?
Good, my friend, good. How's that feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I think first game of the weekend to B team, we came out pretty flat, so to come out and put out a pretty clinical performance today, I think, yeah, everyone's happy. It's pretty good.
So it must be a great feeling. Just everything you seem to touch in those PCs just turned to gold?
Yeah, no, we're lucky to have 2 good flickers, and yeah, they were firing today, so yeah, lucky to have them.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you chill out with your team, and we'll see you at the prize giving, okay? Thank you, guys. So stay tuned, everybody. We've got our prize giving coming up in about 10 minutes. So for those of you that joined in live on live streaming, thank you very much for your support over the weekend. Thank you, One Foundation. Thank you, Local Gecko and North Harbour Hockey, North Harbour Indians and North Harbour Hockey. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, S-Man, for catching up with the 2 boys down there. Man, you could hear the pain from Cal. They know they've been so good all weekend and just came up short there. It's always tough to lose one in that sort of fashion. But like he said, I think just outclassed by the Wellington side. DVD never looks like much phases him. He's always pretty cool and calm. They could have won 5-0, lost 5-0, and he probably looks the same. But I think what you take out of that is he's pretty proud of his boys for all chipping in, all getting it done. And after a pretty touch-and-go start, you've got to remember they were 1-1 locked up with their B team for almost half a game. They were 2-0 down against Bay of Plenty before knocking them off and lost to Auckland on their way here. To come out and give that performance, absolute deserved champions in the end. And we're going to wrap this one up pretty quickly because we do have the prize giving and presentations to happen down on the turf, where we'll find out our tournament teams, our winners, of course, of the championship trophies, and we will see you then for the prize giving. Thanks again.